That's not the good.
Brand. That's how we started the last video, apparently. So you remember we boiled some cement.
We did.
That? And then we also
boiled it and we added root beer to it.
We did. We used root beer instead of water, and lots of people were interested, but had some ideas about what we could do to get better and more accurate results.
Right.
So today, we're going to try a few of those. One of them is that we didn't actually make any cement that was just regularly mixed, regularly cured. We didn't mess with it. So today, we're going to do that as a control, as well as some of our other changed versions. Here's the basic idea. In a previous video, we tested some interesting things with cement, like boiling it and mixing it with root beer. Some of you wanted to see some other comparisons with the cement, so today we're trying a few different types of soda, adding extra sugar to the cement, and adding acid to see what those will do to our mix.
Now you got sugar on the table. Why couldn't you just add sugar to cement?
Yeah, and that's what some people were saying, is like, well, the sugar in the soda is probably interfering. So what we want to try is, we have root beer again, and so we want to do regular cement with water. We want to do some regular cement and water, but add some sugar separate. Then we want to mix them with soda, and I've got two types of root beer. I've got root beer made with corn syrup, and I've got root beer made with cane sugar. And I want to see if that makes any difference. Then along with that, I have some carbonated water that has no fructose, high fructose corn syrup, or sugar, or flavor, or anything. It's just carbonated water, mineral water. And then I also have some lemon juice, and I want to see if the acid in this will do anything to affect the cement. Yeah, so that's the goal. So we're going to mix up these 6 different combinations of cement and liquid.
Okay.
We're going to put them in our mold, and we also got, this is not quick curing cement like the last stuff. This is slower cure, supposed to be stronger, and so we're going to mix it up, let it sit for about 3 to 5 days until the really things are cured, properly keeping it damp the entire time, which is what you're supposed to do, and then we're going to see what the cement is. I'm going to do half a cup. There we go, half a cup. That should fill it. So we can just go mixing this a little bit at a time, but I want to measure how much we put in. So I'm just going to be using this 1 teaspoon, and I'll start with a few, stir it up, and we're going for a peanut buttery consistency. 5 teaspoons.
Now whatever you end up using in the water is kind of what I want to use for everything else.
Yeah, that's why I wanted to measure it, is to at least see if we get consistent results. Like, okay, we use 5 teaspoons of water. Will 5 teaspoons of root beer give us the same consistency? Is it achievable? 1, maybe 2 more. 6. Yeah, I mean, that's a good amount of water. I'm just going to mix it up a little more to make sure it's all even consistency. Since we're in large quantities, it will flow a little bit. We're going to keep it runny. So stay up to a few inches high. And that's for like cupcakes.
Now that we know how much, I can go ahead and start mixing.
Yep.
So I'm starting with the root beer with sugar in it.
I'm going to mix with water, but it's got some white sugar, and I'm just going to add that into the cement. I didn't see anything talking about how much sugar it takes, so I'm just like, oh, I don't know, if I were trying to ruin some cement, maybe that much.
I'm going to go and see if this is runnier.
Look how sweet this is. This has the
Wow.
same 6,
Yeah.
but with sugar added into it, and the sugar itself should like take a certain amount of water or dissolve into the water, but this is a very different consistency.
Yeah, that's bizarre.
I think what I do want to try, not necessarily in a mold, although we do have some other molds we can use, I want to try mixing some of it with water, getting it fully mixed, and then pouring sugar into it to see if it mixes thick and then gets
drop
soupy.
it. Yes, I like it.
This one is going to be lemon juice. Well, the lemon ones smell great.
Ah.
So far, the lemon is not getting soupy. If anything, the lemon is lumpier than the regular water. Yeah, it's so much thicker. That's so crazy. The lemon compared to the A&W one. The A&W one just did so soupy. So carbonated water, but with no sweetener in it at all.
Behaving like cement. This one's the
Looking
closest,
pretty normal.
closest to our regular water one we've gotten so far.
So I think the carbonation, at least so far, seems to not be doing anything. We'll see if it affects it as time goes.
We have some cement.
So we're going to leave these for several days. As soon as they basically start to harden, I will get damp cloth and plastic over them because they are supposed to stay damp the whole time they're curing. And so that's how we make that happen. But then in a few days, we'll pop all those out, assuming that they all have enough structural integrity and they're solid enough to pop out. And we'll see how strong they are.
Well,
All right, it's been a long weekend, but now we need to see how the cement has all progressed. So we've got our control. We have one where I mixed it up and then added sugar to it. We have this one where we
do you
IBC soda, which has sugar in it.
A&W
Which
corn
is
syrup.
A&W root beer that has corn syrup in it. This was just straight lemon juice. This was carbonated water, and this one over here was I added the sugar before the water.
Oh, okay, that's right. This one we mix the sugar in.
There's a variety of like colors and surface textures. And then our lemon one, I've noticed that I can scrape with my fingernail. So the acid seems to be very good.
All right, let's see if we can pull out the control. Let's start with that.
Oh, it's just wet. I mean, it's not as shiny as I thought immediately, but well, it's not even polished. It just came out shiny.
I am shocked at how well the sugar.
It seems to have set. I don't know how strong it is, but it's set. Clearly.
It's just so smooth.
Yeah, it came out very, very smooth. It went in very, very liquid as a result of the sugar.
And it's smoother than this liquid one. Now, it could just be that the shape works better, but maybe, I mean, that one was runnier than many of the other ones. So I assume that's why more able to air levels were able to get out. Get right down. Oh, and some paper towel stuck to it.
This is like shape.
It's like when you compact the sugar.
Yeah, it's basically this. Well, should we see how crunchable they are? Start with nice small hits.
Okay. Harder. Okay, a little harder. Okay.
Our extra strong, slow cure cement seems to be holding up.
Really strong.
Right? We may have to scale that up. I mean, we may actually want to twist it outside so we're not doing a ton of work. But we'll do our low grade snacks in here, made with sugar.
So that has dented the top noticeably.
Well, it does with this one too.
I think we have more dent here, and we
Yes.
haven't got as strong a taste. So
I think we have
Stronger?
lower.
Oh.
Oh yeah, there we go. It's breaking off with that medium strength hit. Let's try our A&W.
Okay.
This is the corn syrup, not sugar. It's flattening, and I think I see some little cracks going on. Let's give it a little more strength. Well, we do have some breaking. I don't know if that was exactly the same strength as the IBC, but it seems to be crumbling in a similar manner.
Yep.
All right, so sugar. One of the reasons we did this whole test is because people talked about how sugar would ruin the cure of cement. So this just has sugar mixed into it.
Oh.
Very similar to the soda ones. It started losing a lot of strength when compared to the control, which I think got actually harder hits than that and lost nothing. So sugar is definitely ruining something. I'll try and match your impact strength.
Sort of drop it.
Getting a noticeable smush.
Okay.
So
There you go.
I'm gonna harden my fingers a little bit. All right, so this one is obviously a different shape. The results may be different.
Definitely flatter. It is a strong adhesive. It's still not holding together the same way.
No, but it
that is
seems
stronger.
It does seem stronger than the soda ones.
Interesting. Hang on, I just want to.
Yep.
Okay, I was going to squish it. I didn't realize my finger would go through it. You really want to ruin some cement, guys. Lemon juice.
Acid, I think, straight up stops the reaction to cure. There is no cohesion. It's just falling apart entirely. All right, let's take them outside where we can hit things harder and not worry about the workbench and like just really see what it takes to break them.
All right, let's do it.
All right, so this is the sugar before we added water.
Okay.
I don't think there's much difference between the two sugars, except this one had more sugar in it. Let's just see how much impact it takes to really break this.
Okay. Bouncing.
There we go. So it took several good whacks, but we have now put significant cracking in it. It actually still hasn't come apart, but significantly damaged. Yeah, I mean, that actually held together decently well.
Yeah, much better than I thought in comparison to the others.
So this is the one made with the Perrier.
I'm surprised at how weak that is.
Oh, we're chipping stuff off, but it hasn't completely fallen apart yet. There we go. Okay, several decent whacks to get it really cracked. Okay, this is sugar again. We added the sugar afterward and thinned out the cement. Oh wow. This one is much more wet sandy. Wow. So this actually had, that's weird, because this I think had less sugar in it than this one. And this one we just added sugar in and we mixed it up and it cured. This one we added the sugar afterward, and I don't know if that's the only thing that made a difference, but this had very little structural integrity. It feels very wet and uncured inside, and it broke with really very light strokes compared, like very light hammering compared to the other. Okay, this is our A&W root beer. Yeah, that's doing very poorly. Oh, and there it goes. Big cracks, falling apart, very light hits, and that just could not stay together. Look at that, crumbling to nothing. IBC root beer, made with sugar, not high fructose corn syrup. Oh, and much like the other root beer, okay, that was a big crack, but didn't actually separate yet. There you go. So a couple very light hits, and it's just gone. That's so strange, like it's gotta be other stuff in it. Now, I think both of these have some citric acid as flavoring, and maybe that's part of it. Okay, there we go. So multiple significant strikes get through our control.
Not just pretty good whacks, but significant strikes.
Yeah, weirdly enough though, the one that we added the sugar at the beginning, that was basically as strong as our control. But the one where we added sugar afterward, yeah, it broke easily, it's much softer. So I don't know what's happening there. If anyone knows the chemistry behind that, I'm interested. So this is our control. Just put it in some water.
Just behaving like a chunk of smoke.
Not doing anything, doesn't seem to be reacting. There's no crumbling apart in there. IBC, sugar, root beer. Okay, as soon as it hits water, stuff starts falling off. Oh,
Yeah.
I mean, it's already soft out of the water, but when I get it wet, it really is just crumbling into dust. A&W corn syrup, again, clouds of dirt start coming off of it almost instantly. Clearly, stuff is not bonded well. And there's our sugar cement. We're getting some stuff coming off it, but it's not as
Better than soda.
definitely. It's not coming off as much, and it's not like completely falling apart. Piece of the CO2 cement, nothing. Seems to be completely impervious to the water.
It was just weak, but that doesn't mean it wasn't pure.
It was, yeah, it was weak-ish. Not tremendously weak, but not strong. And this one, the sugar added at the beginning,
Seems to behave like cement.
it's quite durable. Sugar seems to have wrecked most of them, but this one that has a lot of sugar in it, it didn't. Like it made it flow more, and then it's just solid and sturdy. What do you guys think? What do these results tell you? We obviously had the cement change as we mixed different things into it. The control was the strongest one, but the one that we mixed sugar in at the very beginning before we added the water, it's strong. Whereas the soda just completely ruins the structural integrity of them. They're basically water soluble, very soft. Lemon juice just stops the reaction. So is it the acidity? Anything that